CCX Sports presents coverage of the Section 6 Boys Volleyball Championship. Tonight, the top seed, the Wayzata Trojans, host the number 2 seed, the Hopkins Royals. From Wayzata High School in Plymouth, John Jacobson along with Tyler Ullman. And Tyler, very exciting night. It is the first ever section championship for boys volleyball in Section 6, with this becoming an officially sanctioned sport. The winner tonight goes on to the first MSHSL-sponsored state tournament next week in St. Paul.
Yeah, it's been great so far. I've seen a lot of volleyball that's been awesome to watch during the playoffs. I think this is going to be a continuation of that tonight. Two teams are very evenly matched, defensively, offensively. They're going to come right at each other. We could be here for a long night. It'll be a fun one.
Both teams 16-8 on the season coming in, and although Wayzata swept Hopkins during the season, 4 of the 6 sets were close. So don't be fooled necessarily by the 3-0 final scores in the sets, that these were close matches, both of them.
Yeah, everything's been very competitive all the way through the playoffs. Even though, like you said, a match might go 3-0, it still could be 25-23, right. 25-23, and all of a sudden a couple points one way, and it feels like a blowout when really it was a nail-biter.
Let's look at our key players, starting with the Royals. Jacob Barnett has had a terrific season. You look at his kill numbers, leads the state. He is the guy that drives their offense, right?
Yeah, Owen Barnett's been great for them all year. He's leading the state. He's going for 500 kills on the season tonight.
Crazy.
He's at 485. A lot of people are going for 1,000 kills in a career, and he's halfway there in one season. Now, as a senior, that's impressive on its own, especially in the first year for sanctioned boys volleyball. But he's really been a leader offensively and on and off the court for them this year.
And for Wayzata, Jacob Aslanishvili has had a terrific season for the Trojans.
He certainly has. Like I just said with Owen, he's been kind of like that emotional leader for them. When they've had the opportunity to go on runs, he's kind of been the go-to guy. And so I would look forward to that continuing tonight for them.
Well, we mentioned that both matches were close, even though Wayzata won in sweep. So for Hopkins to flip the script and win those 25-23 games tonight, what's the key for them?
I honestly think it's going to come down to defense for them. They've got a really high-powered offense, and everyone knows it. If they can keep themselves in system with a good defense and serve receive, then I think that's going to be their best chance of winning.
Again, the winner goes on to the state tournament next week at St. Thomas. Hopkins Wayzata for the Section 6 Boys Volleyball Championship for 2025. It's coming up live next on CCX.
At Topline Financial Credit Union, we love getting to be part of our members' big moments. Whether it's making home improvements, going to school, building a business, or even getting married. An interest-only home equity line of credit with payments as low as $50 per month can help you get there. It's just one of the ways we're helping our members on their financial journeys. Become a Topline member and let us be a part of yours, because connected, we all do better.
And starting to file in, or continue to file in here for tonight's section final, Hopkins, St. Louis Park, and Wayzata for the Section 6 Boys Volleyball Championship. John Jacobson, Tyler Ullman back with you at Wayzata High School, and ready for an exciting night of volleyball tonight. Let's look at our starting lineups for these teams. Hopkins and Wayzata both 16-8 on the season coming into the section championship tonight. And for the Royals, Owen Barnett, Joey Rinaldi, Christian Hoyle, Jason Kraft, Caleb Mary Peary, Ben Jones, and John Miller. And on the Wayzata side, it's Connor Voss, Jackson Newthalls, Mario Murrow, Griffin McLean, Kai Westman, Manny Cotta is there, libero, and Jacob Aslanishvili. Our coaches, Zach Awesome is the head coach of the Hopkins Royals. And on the Wayzata side, it's Connor Severson. Both very excited for the opportunity tonight to get their team to the inaugural MSHSL state tournament next week at the University of St. Thomas. His team's got here, as you would expect, with winning as the top 2 seeds, their quarterfinal and semifinal matches. Wayzata with a sweep over Cooper in the quarterfinals, and then swept Armstrong in the semis. And for Hopkins St. Louis Park, a sweep of Washburn in the quarterfinals. Lost the first set to Edina, but then won the last 3, including the last 2 sets by 26-24 scores to eliminate the Hornets in the semifinals to get to tonight's play. That should be a good match, I think, Tyler. Right?
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Every team in this tournament knows this is the first season, and only one team can be the first ever state champion.
State tournament begins on Tuesday at St. Thomas. Matches at 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. The semifinals then on Wednesday, June 11th, with the consolation third place and championship matches all on Thursday. The championship match at 4 p.m. next Thursday at St. Thomas. And you've seen a lot of teams. Who are the other teams that you really like around the state that could be lifting that state championship trophy next Thursday?
Yeah, there's so many options, right? We just saw a couple of good wins last night for Rogers, who had a tight match against STMA. Eden Prairie's been at the top of the rankings most of the season, so those are a couple of the favorites, and I think a lot of these teams here are kind of gunning for them. Those teams got a target on their back and are going to show up and play hard when those guys are on the roster.
Hopkins St. Louis Park in blue, Wayzata in white, ready to start our first set here tonight at Wayzata. And there's the scores from their 2 meetings this season. April 17th here at Wayzata and at Hopkins on May 13th, both 3-0. Wayzata, but close sets in both of those matches, but the Trojans winning all the close ones and winning the sets, which in the end is what matters.
That's what matters. But the other thing to keep in mind is one of the toughest things to do in sports, especially a sport like volleyball, is to beat a team 3 times in one season. You might beat them once, you might beat them another time, but every time that team who lost is losing or is learning, and they're going to come back a little bit better, a little bit smarter, and know how to handle you.
Joey Rinaldi there, number 2 next year. He's going to play college volleyball next year, Tyler.
He is, yep. Division I, Belmont Abbey College out in North Carolina. His future college team has been into the NCAA Division I championship tournament each of the last 2 years. So exciting for Joey to get out there and take his game to the next level.
Manny Cotto will serve to start tonight's match. The senior to get the Trojans on their way. One of just 2 seniors on the roster, along with Jack Newthalls.
All right, we got a little bit of a discrepancy here.
What's Joey Rinaldi's argument here to Tim Harlow?
I think maybe there was something on the floor and he was pointing it out, but the referee didn't notice it.
I think they're going to give the point to Wayzata. I didn't see what it was.
So yeah, I think there was a pre-wrap that was on the floor and they were pointing it out, and Connor Voss with Wayzata went to go pick it up. He was like, yeah, I think we should do that over again, and the referee said no.
All right, well, that's in an auspicious way we start. Rinaldi trying to take it out on that swing, but hits it a little long, and it's 2-0 Trojans. No, definitely hit long. Kata serve into the net. First point of the night for Hopkins. They get the side out. Christian C.J. Hoyle. He is a freshman. Minnehaha Academy, his school. The rest of these students all from Hopkins or St. Louis Park, but over from Minnehaha Academy. And a swing at the net and a kill for Wayzata's Mario Murrow, his first of the night.
Really great tempo on that one ball out of the middle. If they keep running them that fast all night, it's going to be really difficult to stop.
Connor Voss, junior setter, will serve this one up. Barnett, a late run to it by Rinaldi. And
I think it bounced off the ceiling there, kind of ran away from where they were thinking that ball was going to end up.
Which is what we saw when we did the match here during the regular season against Maple Grove. And as we see it during the girls' season here as well. The ceiling definitely can come in play here at Wayzata. Serve there, didn't get over the net for Voss. And it's 4-2 Trojans. And now Barnett, the senior, will go to serve. strong serve, only too strong. 5-2, Wayzata. Kai Westman serves. Set across by Hoyle to Rinaldi. Back row and too strong over the head of the leaping Westman in the back row. Point for Hopkins. Voss got hands on it but couldn't play it forward. There's someone in the front row and too much of a scramble there for Westman. All pushed back row. Barnett has it. Hoyle with the set. Barnett swings long. 6-3. Wayzata, they won right from the start. Merle, 6-foot junior, will put this one in play. Rinaldi to Hoyle. Back set. Hit cross court, picked up there by Voss. Front row, swing, and hit across by McLean. Here's Rinaldi. Miss hit on that ball. Goes wide. And now 7-3. So some hitting errors early for the Royals has put them behind by 4. Merle, though, gives it point right back.
It seems like they missed 3 serves in the net. I wonder if part of the scouting report is to try and take the Royals' short serves. They have one of the better serve-receive cores between Rinaldi, Miripiri, and Barnett. Those 3 are going to kind of dominate their serve-receive game tonight. So try and get them out of system. Maybe that's part of their scouting report.
Right side swing. McLean gets blocked by Rinaldi. Point for Hopkins, St. Louis Park. Rinaldi with the solo block. 7-5. Voss set. Ashlanishvili gets up and gets his first kill of the night. On the season is 243rd. Gavin Kinsel, sophomore, rotates in. He'll serve here. Too strong. Another service there for Wayzata. 8-6. Rinaldi back to serve. Oh, rifle serve, but a great pickup by Kata. And that's Swanishvili with another kill. Great serve receive there, Tyler, by Manny Kata.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for them if they can keep Jacob Ashlanishvili an option. With some good passes and serve receive, they're going to have a great night.
Hoyle across. Pick up there, but not in play. And a kill for Barnett. Westman tried to run it down, but into the score table. Kata got a piece of that, but not a good enough pass to keep it in play. Voss, little center dump, drops it over. 10-7 Wayzata. Kata took a little too much off that serve. Hoyle back to serve for Hopkins Park. Lefty puts it in play. Voss, quick set, block at the net, point for Hopkins. John Miller, senior middle, with the block.
Yeah, I like that set decision there. Just led the hitter a little bit too much. He just had nowhere to go.
Front row Voss. Murrow this time gets it off hands and down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Murrow get a majority of the sets when Aslanishvili is in the back row.
11-9, Wayzata. Quick set in the Miller. Miller gets blocked. Murrow with the block. Perfectly timed. Murrow getting up in front of John Miller. Hoyle outside to Barnett. He gets blocked. Hoyle will dump it to the back row. Back set, push down, and
Off the block, yeah.
off the block, and a point for Wayzata. Kill for Griffin McLean. 3 in a row here for Wayzata. They're up by 4. Voss back to serve. Over to Barnett. Off the tape and down. Merle didn't quite get up for the block. Hopkins gets the side out. This kind of crawled over the tape. Now Barnett serving. Gets this one down. Westman. McLean's hit gets blocked. Pushed across by Aslanishvili. Back set here to Rinaldi. Good rally here. Right side attack and the kill for Westman. Westman is second to Aslanishvili in kills, 131st of the season there.
Yeah, long rally there. Wayzata was running all over the court, and they just did not relent.
Back set across. Good dig in the back row. A scramble for Wayzata, but they get it across by McLean. Rinaldi swings over the net. Aslanishvili keeps it alive.
Yep.
I think we had Wayzata into the net
the
there.
follow
Looks like
through there.
McLean did on his follow-through. Point for Hopkins.
Ball was a little tight. He thought it was the opportunity to go swing hard and just took it right into the net.
Caleb Miri-Piri, the junior libero, serving. Aslanishvili off of Miri-Piri and down. Wayzata gets it right back. Jack Newthal's into the front row now for Wayzata. Murrow back to serve. Rinaldi, good swing, good pickup though by Voss. McLean across. Up to the front row, Rinaldi again, pushes it to the middle. Voss set, swing, but into the net on the attack by Westman. (15-12). Ben Jones back to serve for Hopkins Park. We'll have shoe tied. We're all ready to go. Outside set, Aslanishvili. Big swing for him, 16-12.
Yeah, excellent swing. You don't want to leave a hole in the block when he's out there in system like that. He's just going to put it away. Yeah, big gap there. He saw it, took advantage.
Trojans by 4. Kinsel serving. Barnett, that went off the ceiling, but then across by Miri-Piri. Tipped over, and the point for Voss.
Smart decision there from Voss not to try and keep it on his side. He knows he's front row right now. Just send it over to the other side. Be aggressive with it. Be an offensive weapon.
Kinsel, strong serve. Barnett way up high. Here's Rinaldi, put it across. Westman picked it up back row. Aslanishvili again attacks and scores. Wayzata's biggest lead of the night at 18-12, and Hopkins will take timeout.
Yeah, I like the timeout decision there. You know, you don't want to let this game get to 20 when you're still at 12, right? You want to kind of cut that off, especially as it seems like Ashlanishvili is starting to heat up a little bit. He had that one big swing, and then now he's got another one at a sharp angle to his right. You kind of want to cut that momentum off while you can.
Fell right behind from the start and have not been able to catch up yet. Got to within 1 at 10-9, but since then, Wayzata on an 8-3 run to extend their lead.
Yeah, Wayzata's been working hard too, right? They've been kind of having to run across the court, make some great digs, but it's not like they get the great dig and then let the ball fall, right? They continue to play, they're keeping the rally alive, and they're just giving themselves a chance. Right now, a lot of the times, until those last few big kills they've had, they've kind of just been outlasting the Royals.
Wayzata's mistakes, for the most part tonight, have just come off serves. They've been pretty
Yeah,
clean otherwise.
they've had a good number of serve outs early. I'm sure that's something that Connor Stevenson has talked about over in his huddles a little bit. The guys on the bench, hey, let's cut down. We need to be aggressive, right? Hopkins has a good serve receive core, but we can't just give them points all night long.
Kinsel, as we say that,
right?
It gives them a point on a long serve. 18-13.
There's no such thing as a broadcasting curse.
All right. Rinaldi to serve. Spins it, he's ready. Kata on the serve receive. Pushed at the net. Then backpedaling to handle it was Kinsel. Point for Hopkins Park. Well, Trojans, it's kind of in scramble mode right from the serve there.
Yeah.
Ball the front row. Ashlanishvili a little too tight on that set, and he had to run for it and didn't get a chance to really put it to where he wanted to. So 3 in a row for the Royals out of their timeout. And they're back to within 3 at 18-15.
A couple good aggressive serves here from Rinaldi making the difference right now. Not getting some good passes for them.
Better set here. Ashlanishvili able to take advantage, took a little bit off it, drops it in front of the defense and down for a point.
Yeah, it was a good spot to just kind of change up a little bit. You know, they know you just had a couple of big kills. They're going to be on their heels a little bit, expecting you to try for another one, and just change it up, get them off balance.
Serve picked up by Mary Peary. Here's Barnett, swings wide. No tip. Hopkins was looking for one. Ball hit wide. Point Wayzata, they're at 20. Ashlanishvili. Mary Peary diving out for that ball. Pushed over by Rinaldi. Voss, and the swing across by Westman. Back to the front row. Barnett with the attack. Voss will dump it. Ready for it, and hitting it just wide was Kraft.
Hopkins did a good job of keeping it alive off the ceiling there. Barnett kind of took that ball, tipped it over. One thing he probably needs to do, and his coach is probably going to tell him, hey, let's send that ball to the corner, right? Not to the middle of the court.
Serve out. Point Hopkins Park. It's 21-16. Kraft floats it across. Oh, Ashlanishvili had to put away by Barnett. Tried to get the ball up to the front row to Voss and put a little too much on it. And that was easy pickings for Owen Barnett to put away.
Yeah, Barnett says, I'll take that one all day.
Kraft, this one bolts it right into his own net. 22-17.
Coming down to the wire here in the first, I'm thinking, you know, if you're Hopkins, you're going to go back to your bread and butter, and Owen Barnett here kind of gets you out of this.
Oh, Kata drops one. A little miscommunication there between Barnett and Rinaldi. Neither ended up playing it. And Manny Kata with the ace. Wayzata closing in on a win here in the first set. Naldi picks this one up. And then into the net. Maybe hands on it for Westman there. I couldn't tell if that was net or if he got his hands at the tape to get the block. Another timeout here for Hopkins Park.
Yeah, it hasn't really felt all that close. Since the start, kind of got that awkward start with that weird first play. And now we're kind of like, it's almost over already, right? So looks like you maybe got a hand on that one, maybe net and some hand there. But if you're Hopkins, you're like, hey, we know what to do. We got to just have our offense be a little bit more, working for us more. Maybe we got to take something off of it and find a spot where the Trojans are not, right? We're looking for something that's making them work a little bit harder than just giving the ball right at them.
And Coach Severson's message sure is we're not at 25 yet.
Exactly. Until that scoreboard says 25 3 times, I'm not satisfied.
Gotta try to close it out here. 24-17. And got it in for an ace. At the sideline, Wayzata wins set one, 25-17. Led from start to finish in set one, Tyler.
Yeah, pretty much. It did not feel all that close, right? It kind of felt like Wayzata took the lead and just said, this game is ours, and we're going to keep it.
We'll take a timeout. Set two on the way. Section 6 Volleyball Championship from Wayzata High School.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Big thanks to the Minnesota Select Volleyball Club for their coverage and sponsorship of our live coverage tonight of the Section 6 Championship. The section imposes a live fee for us to do these games, the section tournament games live, and we thank Minnesota Select for covering that for CCX tonight. And I know you have good things to say, Tyler, about Minnesota Select.
Coached there for about 5 years, but they've been a huge supporter of boys volleyball, the club scene and the high school season. They've been having events at Select for free to just try and grow the game a little bit for the boys. It's been really great to see it all pay off now.
And we talked about during the regular season about the number of teams that are playing boys volleyball and how that number will almost certainly grow by next year. As far as number of registered teams.
Yeah, they're looking to get to triple digits just next year already.
Yeah, under the high school league umbrella. So we're underway here in set two. First attack goes wide by Kai Westman. And Hopkins has its first lead of the night. Hopkins St. Louis Park. CJ Hoyle, the serve. Freshman, good serve, handled by Kinsel. Oh, and that one goes off the rafters and down. Another point for Hopkins. A good start for the Royals. Hoyle's serve gives one back. There's Wayzata's first point in set two. Griffin McLean, the right side sophomore, will rotate in. Voss back to serve. Off Rinaldi, comes across the net on the overpass. Left side and getting it through hands. Westman with the kill. Trying to get the block there were Jones and Miller, but couldn't quite close on Westman. 2-2.
Yeah, Wayzata kind of got away with one there. They almost let that overpass drop to the floor, and they kept it alive and were able to get the kill on it.
Moss floats it to the back row. Hoyle, quick set. Ball out on the swing from Miller. 3 in a row for Wayzata. Loss misses on his serve, though, and ties it back up. Barnett serves one back into the net. For 3 Wayzata as Westman serves. Off the hands of Barnett now.
I think if you're Hopkins, you're probably wanting to stop the bleeding here early, right? You got that 2-0 lead, not that much, but now it's a 2-0 or a 2-point deficit, I should say.
Westman back into the net on that serve, so it's 5-4. Caleb Curie on the serve for Hopkins Park. Off the tape, but good dig by Cotta there to get to that ball. Big swing from Barnett and perfectly timed block by Murrow.
Yeah, great block by Murrow, taken straight ahead. Barnett hasn't found the corners yet tonight, kind of like we talked about. It was a good decision by Murrow, just take straight ahead of him.
And Murrow on the serve. His team up by 2 here in set 2. Rinaldi. Point for Wayzata. McLean and Newthalls were there. And Rinaldi just the missed on that swing. 7-4 now. A 7-2 scoring run for Wayzata. Hoyle to Rinaldi again, gets blocked.
Yeah, you can see the frustration kind of setting in for Hopkins right now. They're looking around, expecting someone else to make the play, and no one else is kind of ready. So everyone's got to kind of get together and realize, hey, let's step up here. We all need to contribute to this.
Barnett chased down by Hoyle and over by Rinaldi. Boss quick set. Newthalls to the back row. Barnett handled that. Now Barnett swings from the middle and gets the kill. Haven't had a lot of that tonight for Hopkins. They're going to need more tonight from Barnett to make a comeback.
Yeah, they certainly are. He's going to be swinging front row, back row. He's going to have to be an option pretty much every play.
Ben Jones serves. Cotta back set. McLean off hands to the bench and out. Griffin McLean with the kill. Kinsel in, he'll serve here. Rips one, picked up by Rinaldi. Rinaldi gets the set from Hoyle and puts it away. Didn't play that any better, right?
Yeah, I think that's where Rinaldi's going to have success. He's going to have to find those angles. He's not exactly going to outsize any of the Wayzata blockers, so he's going to have to go to that down the line. They left it open for him, and he took it.
And now Rinaldi to serve. Off Kinsel on the overpass, handled by Rinaldi. Go to Barnett. Well, Hopkins maybe getting into a little rhythm here. That's 9-7.
Yeah, this might be one of their stronger rotations. Rinaldi has a really tough serve. Barnett's back into the front row.
That one over the net, block at the net. Good job there by Boss, and Barnett gets a hold of another one and puts it away.
Starting to find those angles too, right? We talked about it. They're going straight ahead. Wayzata's handling it. They're going to have, they're starting to find those angles going right, going to the left, making it a little bit more difficult for the Trojans.
Another serve at Cotta to the front row. Boss, Aslanishvili. Oh, nicely handled and over by Doyle, and then the shot in on the swing from Newthalls.
Great spot by Newthalls there, too, right? He didn't necessarily get the hardest swing he's had that we've seen him have, but he put it into a spot where there was just no defender. They couldn't do anything about it.
The dig there by Mary Peary, and then the put away by Newthalls. Back to live action now. Barnett again, a miss. Trying to go cross court and couldn't quite cut it down.
Maybe just a little too sharp. I think he maybe hit it off the top of the net and it just bounced a little bit out of bounds. But like I talked about, he's trying to go for those ankles now, right? That's going to be where he's going to find some more floor.
Schlanishvili gives one back, though, on the serve. 11-9. Hopkins Park trailing by 2. Venner Rinaldi, the 7th grade brother of Joey, is in for the first time tonight. He will serve. Ball from the middle, and Schlanishvili gets it off hands. Kill for the Trojans. 12-9. Trojans with Kata serving. Off Joseph Rinaldi, back to Rinaldi. Gets blocked by Merle.
Unlucky.
Barnett gets blocked. Go back to Barnett.
Oh, good roll.
Over the block. Good changeup on the second swing in that sequence for Barnett.
Yeah, that would have been a really frustrating point to lose. They had that point won, but CJ Hoyle was right there, just happened to be out of bounds in the spot the ball go. He had no choice but to play it. Good roll shot there. Really excellent spot to put that.
Cross, and that one will get down for a point off the hands of Jones, and a kill for Westman. 13-10.
Yeah, he's going to take advantage if they don't press enough on the block over across the net. He's going to take advantage of that all night long.
Lost the serve out. 13-11. Barnett misses on his serve, and so gives the point right back to Wayzata. 3-point lead again for the Trojans.
I think he maybe just was talking to teammates. He lost that one in the lights on the toss.
Westman, and good call to let it go. Westman missed just long.
Good thing his hair's not longer. That might have hit him.
It's close. So 3 consecutive missed serves. Mary Peary, though, gets this one in. Schlanishvili, offside swing and kill. Wayzata at 15. Float serve handled by Mary Peary. Oil across to Joey Rinaldi. Trojans scramble. Schlanishvili gets it down the line and gets the point.
That was a chaotic play right there. A lot of stuff going on at the net. Went back over, and 3 kind of emergency touches there for Hopkins. Almost got it back up and over, just not quite.
Murrow serves. Barnett. Coyle, and then Joey Rinaldi. And this hit on that swing and hits it long. Timeout, Hopkins. 17-12, Wayzata.
Yeah, Wayzata doing a much better job, I think, this set overall from the service line. Not as many serve outs, and being pretty aggressive of trying to move the passers for Hopkins left to the right, forward, back a little bit. Even that one miss that we talked about that Barnett let go, it was very close. He almost played it, right? So they're making him work a little bit, which is making the big difference for them because they don't necessarily get their attackers in the system, and credit to Wayzata for making that work.
Still a lot of volleyball to go here in the second set, but that point that they got when it was 9-8 to make it 10-8 seemed even at the time to be a big one that put them up by 2. Hopkins Park was really on the roll trying to tie. It almost did, and the Trojans made a great play, went up by 2, and it's kind of it's gotten the momentum back a little bit up for the Trojans from that point on.
Yeah, that's a great point. Momentum, I tell people momentum's overrated unless you have it, right? So if you've got the momentum, you're going to want to run with it. You got to keep your emotions in check. There's a problem with getting a little bit too excited about that, and then all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, we've got it in the bag, and then all of a sudden the turntables have turned a little bit.
Out of the timeout, here's Barnett swinging from the middle. Merle picks it up back row. McLean off of Barnett, overpass. Voss, quick set, ball put over, and Mary Peary, nice dig. Jerry Rinaldi gets it across. Voss back set, McLean gets blocked. Oh, good pick up by Westman. Achlanishvili gets it off hands and down for a point. Longest rally of the night, and the point to Wayzata.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Both teams probably deserved to win that point somehow, some way, and they just kind of kept battling until that one was over. Good swing off the block. Didn't quite press his right hand around. Left it susceptible to the kill.
Merle float serve. Hoyle set outside. Rinaldi gets blocked. Barnett picks it up. They'll go back to Barnett in the middle, and he gets it across for the kill.
Yeah, I think that's going to be kind of huge for Hopkins is keeping those balls up off the block, right? Like, Rinaldi's going to get blocked every now and then. Barnett's going to get blocked every now and then. All their guys are going to get blocked. We've got to keep that one alive to keep ourselves another chance, and that's just what they did right there.
Big point for Hopkins Park, makes it 18-13. Hoyle to Rinaldi. Point for Hopkins.
Another good shot down the line. Even if it gets a little bit of the tape, it's still in a good location.
Jones on the serve. Oh. Double contact there on Westman. A run here for the Royals. Achlanishvili handles this one. And then gets the set and puts it away.
A little bit of a mismatch there on the block. He just took advantage, had the gap. Took a good hard swing, and he just looks like it was nothing.
Kinsel in for McLean, and he will serve. Serves long. 19-16.
Feels like if you're Hopkins, you're going to have to make your run right here.
Right. A good rotation for them.
Start.
There's an ace for Rinaldi. Off of Cotta and out. Hopkins parked within 2.
Tough serve, moving left to right, top to the bottom.
Set across, Achlanishvili got it down.
What an angle, too. That's a tough shot to make. Go 10-foot line on the other side of the court. You're kind of having to really twist your thumb down on the swing just to put it that far. That's a good swing.
Wayzata first to 20. Tip at the net and kept alive. This is going to have to be over, and is. And
the libero set that ball in front of the 10-foot line, which makes it illegal for the setter to go over on 2. Yeah, it's a hard one to remember. Referees are looking for it. The rule is that the libero is not allowed to set with their fingers in their hands in front of the 10-foot line and then have a player immediately attack the ball over. Voss just didn't realize that the libero had passed that ball with his hands. Yep.
Splitting the defense and getting the kill is New Falls. Wayzata gets it right back. It's 21-18.
Yeah, great run. They haven't run that in their middle on this kind of this close to the right side of the court all night long, and Hopkins was not expecting it.
Rinaldi attacking, off hands and down. 21-19. Hoyle to serve. Left side swing.
Off the antenna, I think. Typically the down ref's not supposed to blow their whistle unless it's a net call, but they kind of tend to on antenna. Even though you got a line judge there, you'd think you can rely on the line judge.
So hitting error gives Hopkins Park another point. Trying to tie it here, and they do. 21-all.
I think there might be a timeout coming here for Wayzata. Just a moment to kind of relax, take a deep breath. Hey, we've had this game in our control all night long. You know, let's not do anything different. Just keep playing our game.
Hoyle trying to put his team up for the first time since 2-1. Good block at the net, but it's out. And swing by Westman. Hopkins Park got up for the block, but couldn't put it back into the court. Look at it again. Westman's like, yeah, that's ours. 22-21. Connor Voss serves. They go to Barnett. He gets blocked. Hoyle go back to Barnett again. Didn't make an error there.
So first you don't succeed, try again, right?
No.
Hopkins did a good job there making sure they were covering all of a sudden, and now they're right back in this game, right?
22-all. Barnett serving. Voss back set. Down for a point.
Excellent spot.
That's a big swing and kill for Westman. And a couple of big attacks and kills here late in this set.
Good swing, and now to keep in mind as with the rotation, Aslanishvili's back in the front row for Wayzata.
Overpass, tipped over by Aslanishvili. Mary Peary picked it up. Set, attack. Out. Missing on the swing was McLean. No touch by Hopkins Park, 23-all.
That was good discipline there by Hoyle. He kind of started to go for it, realized where he was, where that ball was, and just backed off.
All set to Aslanishvili. Got blocked. Point for Hopkins Park. Kill for Ben Jones. Timeout, Wayzata.
Yeah, Wayzata kind of on their heels a little bit. They've been in control all night long, and then the last 10 points or so, it felt maybe like they let off the gas a little bit right at the same time that Hopkins pushed down on the gas. They're blocking a lot better now. They're starting to push over a little bit, and they're playing really a lot better defense on the Hopkins side. They're covering their hitters, and then they're right back in it, right? They were not in it for a majority of the night, and now it feels like they might be a little bit in control.
Chance to even this match up at 1-1.
If they get a good pass here, I would anticipate Aslanishvili being the number one option here on for Voss to set right out of the gate. If you're Hopkins, you want to be ready for it. You almost want to commit to Aslanishvili and say, okay, well, if someone else gets the kill, we'll take it, but we want to stop their big guy from beating us right now.
With Awesome's team trying to tie it up. Here's Perry on the serve. And it's out. Wayzata a little gambling there. Let's see if
that was a close one
drop
for
or
sure.
not. And they guessed right, 24 all.
Ooh, that was very close.
Front row. Over. Good layout on that ball by Westman. From the middle, Barnett.
I thought there might have been a touch. Yep, off the block there.
It was touched by Wayzata. Point for Hopkins Park. Another set point for the Royals.
Oh yeah, right there, right over Newthall's fingers there.
Right off of Newthall's.
Oh, that's a tough
serve. Back row handled. Aslanishvili trying to tie it back up. Hoyle. Rinaldi trying to put it away. Wayzata gets the block up. They'll go back to Rinaldi. Pushes it off the hand. Thrown to the front row and point for Hopkins Park, and they win it. Rallying 26-24 Royals.
You know, for a while there, it was looking like it was not going to be a match tonight, right? It seemed like Wayzata was in control all night long, and then all of a sudden they weren't. It just feels like the switch turned in a hurry. Hopkins started playing a lot better defense, covering the hitters a lot more, and it just feels like Wayzata kind of let off the gas a little bit. They didn't have as many of those big kills they were having success with at the end of the first and the start of the second, and it really shifted the momentum of the game, like you said.
We are tied up at 1. Set 3 on the way. More from the Section 6 championship match from Wayzata after this.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
We are tied 1-1. Wayzata and Hopkins St. Louis Park for the Section 6 championship. Trojans winning 25-17. Hopkins Park coming back down 17-12, and they win it 26-24. We go to set 3. Hopkins Park, you just kind of feel the energy from their bench and their team right now, right?
Yeah, and their crowd. They're excited. You know, I think the first set they've taken off Wayzata this year, but it's not like they've been blown out all year either. So just say, hey, we've been having our opportunities. Now let's go and take it.
Ready to go, set 3. Menikata will serve for Wayzata. Whole new ball game. Good first serve, and we are underway. Barnett on top of that ball and put it away quickly.
They've started to be a little bit smarter offensively for Hopkins, and they're going to have to continue that into the third. If that ball's not there, be smart, put it in a good spot. Just throw that ball down.
Hoyle serve off the tape and down. 2-0 Hopkins Park.
That'll help.
Set goes back to Barnett. Offhand, handled back row by Aslanishvili. Here's the swing by Westman. It's up in the ceiling, out of play. Wayzata point.
Yeah, so that one crossed over the center line.
Right.
So that means they can't come back and play it.
First point for Wayzata, make it 2-1. Loss serves. Swing. Oh, and a great block by Murrow.
Yeah,
Blocks Rinaldi's attack.
Really solid block. He did not have a lot of room to go around him. He just kind of had to try and go through and hope for the best.
Loss serving. Hoyle, good adjustment on that ball. Front row over by Murrow. Hoyle outside. Barnett off the hands of Voss.
I think Barnett mishit that ball a little bit, and it kind of caught both him and the defense by surprise. He didn't quite hit the spot he wanted to, but it worked out because they didn't know where it was going.
You know, Barnett pretty quiet the first set and a half here, but
yeah, heating up a little bit here in the second into the third.
Certainly had some big points in the rally in set 2 and early here in set 3. And that's down for a point. Good set and good placement by Griffin McLean.
That was a very tough set. That ball hit off the ceiling, kind of came down harder than it went up, and that's a bold decision to set that ball, but he got great hands on it, and it paid off for their offense.
Good set by Voss. Here's Westman serving. Rinaldi, off Westman, off the curtain. Swing across. Barnett handles that ball. It's into the bench. Hoyle back to Barnett. Left side swing. Ashlanishvili picked up by Miri Puri. Rinaldi got blocked. Good rally here, and then drops between Jones and Hoyle for a Wayzata point.
Yeah, it looks like Wayzata is really wanting that call because that ball hit the divider that's up there. It's a little bit of an awkward setup here in the gym in that the divider is not actually centered above the net. It's a little bit off-centered on the Wayzata side. So when that ball hit earlier from the Wayzata side, it was out, but it's still in play for Wayzata.
That one caught Miri Puri up a little high. Point for Wayzata. Let's count him up. Makes it 5-3. Westman gives it back. Trojans still by 1. Miri Puri misses on his serve. 6-4 Wayzata. Hoyle and the attack in the point for Owen Barnett.
Excellent run. Hoyle with a good set to the back row. Was able to run that a little bit of a faster tempo than they've done out of the back row. It wasn't super high set, kept it low, and Barnett was able to get there right on time and put it down pretty aggressively.
Oh, and a new balls off the quick set from Voss with the kill.
Another excellent run. They kind of started early with running the fast tempo for their middles for Wayzata. Voss has been aggressive with that all night. And when they've gotten their middles up on time, it's really paid off because they haven't been stopped really yet.
Kinsel missed on his serve. 7-6.
He's getting a little frustrated too. He was jump serving earlier because he's got a good jump serve and missed a couple. So I think he stayed down to try and control it, and he still missed. But I'm sure he's going to turn that around. He's a good server.
Back to Rinaldi. Just a little long. 8-6. Front row Barnett. Blocked. Good block by Newthals. Off hands and a kill for Rinaldi.
I like that setup for Hopkins. They kind of ran Barnett there on the outside, and then they had Rinaldi on the right out of the back row, kind of just complete shift for the blockers. Hard to kind of take both sides in back-to-back possessions.
Vetter Rinaldi back in. He serves this one up. Front row Barnett, off hands, back row. Handled by Aslanishvili, and swing here, was it chips? No, didn't look like it. Swing wrong for Westman.
I didn't see a touch on that.
I think that
one.
was more hope than anything.
Yeah.
Right?
You never know. Sometimes if you're convincing enough, you can convince a referee, right? Or at least you think that.
Yeah, well, clearly over the hands. 8-8. Well, dump there by Voss gets the point. Lead back for the Trojans.
Yeah, he's been a really good factor in the front row. He's chosen his spots well where to be to dump the ball, Connor Voss for Wayzata. He hasn't been doing it too much, but just enough to make sure to keep Hopkins on their heels a little bit.
A little tip there by Narnett. Nice adjustment as it looks like he was going for the big swing and takes something off it and tips it over the blockers.
Yeah, I think he might have noticed the adjustment that Wayzata made. They went for a triple block there against him too.
9-9, Christian Hoyle serves off the tape. Voss and Murrow with the kill.
If Wayzata can keep their middles a factor, that's going to be very difficult to stop, especially when Aslanishvili gets back into the front row.
Teams trading points here, 10-9 Trojans. Hoyle to Rinaldi. It's off the ceiling after initially a touch Kata.
Another one
really
of those,
came down fast.
Yeah, another one of those that came down harder than it went up.
Barnett trying to put Hopkins Park back in front. Off Westman again. That's up high, but handled this time by the Trojans and over by Voss. Hoyle outside to Joey Rinaldi. Picked up by Voss.
Net violation here.
Westman into the net for Wayzata. Hopkins Park back in front.
Ball's been out the ceiling a bunch here lately. Guys getting a little overexcited, hitting a little bit hard, jumping a little bit on defense.
Swing and into the net. And that one by Westman. 12-10 Hopkins Park. Timeout Wayzata.
Yeah, Connor Severson for Wayzata probably looking to just kind of slow the game down a little bit. Let's not let this get one out of control. You know, we've shown that we can be the better team. We just have to play our game, right? Hopkins here, kind of just the opposite. It's like, hey, we're doing things good right now, but we can't let off the gas. We have to keep going, keep covering our hitters, keep playing some good defense, and let's let our offense do the work.
Winner advancing to the state tournament. They will have the seeding this weekend. The quarterfinals starting at 11 a.m. Tuesday down at St. Thomas. Matches at 1, 3, and 5 o'clock in the quarterfinals. Tournament continuing Wednesday and Thursday.
Be a good few days of volleyball, too. A lot of good games to watch.
Barnett trying to put Hopkins Park up by 3. And a block there. Looks like it was John Miller. He was up there with Ben Jones. Might have been all Miller that got the block on McLean.
Hopkins really starting to feel it. You can see the volume, or feel the volume coming off the court from their side a lot more.
It was all Miller.
And no touch on that one.
Barnett swings it too far, 13-11. I think that was the first 3-point lead of the night for Hopkins Park.
Wow, yeah.
Westman trying to get some points back here for the Trojans. Overpass.
Oh, what a dig.
Great dig there. Kata will set up McLean. Missed long. 14-11.
I think that one might have caught Barnett there just a little bit. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time, ready to dig the ball, keep that one alive.
Mary Peary on the serve. Goes to Aslanishvili. Dug up. Not able to play it. Off the initial touch by Hoyle with Hopkins Park. 14-12. Merle serves. Hoyle to Rinaldi. A miss hit on it, but it works out, right?
Yeah, I think he took that one lefty. I think he reached out with it. That set was a little bit further out than he anticipated. Was going up to swing at that ball and realized it at the last second. He's like, well, I'll just push it over with my left hand.
15-12 with Jones serving. Aslanishvili. Great dig on that ball by Jones. Good swing by Barnett. Another kill for Hopkins Park.
That's incredibly frustrating for Wayzata. You get a couple plays here. They've had some monster swings that Hopkins has just gotten some tremendous digs on, and then been able to put it away right after that. That was, as the fans are here, they're showing a sign here. That was our Owen Barnett's 500th kill of the season. So first player in state history to get 500 career kills, 500 kills in a season. Owen Barnett's in the history books for that.
That's great. A terrific season, trying to get his team ahead 2-1 here. They're up by 3 here in set 3, 16-13 Royals.
Owen Barnett's brother Ryan in the crowd tonight, home from college for that.
Kinsel serves, good serve, but Mary Peary there to pick it up. Here's Barnett, and this one sent back. Newthalls and Voss reject that, 16-14. Kinsel on the serve. All tipped at the net and over by Hoyle. Here's Voss swinging. Outside of Rinaldi. Turned back by Wayzata at 16-15.
Well, Royals going to have to get a little bit under control. I think they were maybe getting a little overexcited about it, trying to just swing and swing and swing with no regard where they were, and a couple errors here. I think they'll regroup.
Kinsel, cross, Mary Peary, overpass, Rinaldi, but Hoyle was right there to play it back. And then Wayzata just lets it drop. So instead of being perhaps tied at 16, 17-15, Hopkins Park. Joey Rinaldi back to serve. Voss, Aslanishvili. And that's out of play. Aslanishvili hasn't had a lot of opportunities here.
Not in this
set
third
at all.
set here. No, they've been out of system a ton. You know, they've been struggling to kind of get their guys running. They've been able to get some good runs out of the middle, but not a ton from the outsides. And now he's back to serve. So
great serve there by Aslanishvili. Gets the ace. We're tied at 17. Now Wayzata trying to get that momentum back that they had first set and almost the second set. Barnett had to adjust on that ball, but got it across. Voss and over on the swing by Westman. Rinaldi chases it down and over by Hoyle. Oh, at the net, Barnett able to tap it down on the overpass.
yeah, just a little overexcited on that pass. You're like, oh yeah, I got that one. Sent it a little bit too far. You know, you want to, if you're going to miss, you want to miss a little too far on your side and not let the other team get possession of that.
Kinsel upset at himself on that ball. Hopkins Park back in front by 1. Veta Rinaldi to serve. It serves it long. Tied at 18. Kraft back in now for the Royals. Well, Kraft out as well. 18 all. Cotta serves off Mary Peary. Hoyle to Rinaldi over. Good play by Hinton to get on that ball. Here's Barnett attacking, gets the kill.
Great swing down the line. Did a good job of just cutting that ball. Kinsel was right there. Just a tough swing to get a clean dig on. Got a good touch on it, though. Yeah, excellent turn on that.
Royals by 1 again. Loss from Merle. They've run that play a few times with great success.
Yeah, you know, like I said, with the Wayzata middles, they've been fantastic tonight with the quick timing. You know, a lot of times, especially at this level, you don't see the ones, which is what they call the set for the middle, so quickly, and it's been incredibly successful when they've had the chance to run it.
Loss.
Donuts on that
way
one.
Too much off that ball. 2019 Hopkins Park.
I have a rule: if you serve under the net, you owe the coaches donuts.
Barnett serving. In front, Merle. This one picked up by Hopkins Park. Rinaldi.
Off the block and out.
Point for the Royals. Timed the block, but didn't get the ball down in play. Seems like a big point now. 21-19. Barnett with another serve, but he gives it back. Service error, 21-20.
And with that serve, Ashlanas Veely's back in the front row too for Wayzata, so something for Hopkins to be aware of.
Wetzman serves. Hoyle to the middle, Barnett swings long. We're tied at 21.
Hopkins looking for a touch. I didn't see one, but I thought that was just long.
Wetzman serving off Barnett. Hoyle setting up Rinaldi down the line. I think he missed.
Yeah,
Boy, 3 heading errors in a row for Hopkins Park to put Wayzata in front, 22-21. Timeout Royals.
Yeah, there's a really good idea there from Rinaldi. Just kind of roll shot that one down the line a little bit. Just missed a tad, maybe less than a foot, maybe 6 inches there. They're going to have to keep that up, right? They can't just swing and expect anything to happen. They're going to have to be smart about it. There's another look at that. Just kind of roll shot down the line. Just missed maybe about a foot right there. And you don't want to be discouraged from that, right? Because a lot of times you've seen these guys, they've swung hard and right into the block, and it hasn't paid off. So they can go around it, be smart about it. And if you're Wayzata, you're also kind of like, hey, let's keep those blocks up, right? They kind of made the adjustment against Barnett earlier to run and change from a double block to a triple block, make it a little bit harder for them because their defense has done a good job of scrambling on some balls. Whether they've been kind of from one digger straight to another, or they've been up and off the ceiling and bouncing around up there. It's been a good effort from both sides, and both sides have some things that they're doing well, and I think that's what they're talking about in this timeout.
22-21, Wayzata. Trying to go up 2-1. Wetzman serve. There's Rinaldi, no, into the tape. 23-21 Trojans. Wetzman, Mary Peary on the serve receive, ball back row. Wetzman picks that one up off
He tried playing it
high
again.
and down.
Westman dug that one off, hit the speaker up there, and he's like, oh, I'm going to try again for that. Ceiling's certainly been another factor here.
23-22. Caleb Mary Peary on the serve. Go back to Ashlanas. Feely rolls it across, picked up by the Royals. She's Rinaldi. Back row. Ross back set. McLean over. Haven't set the ball a lot to him tonight, but they did there with great success, and he found the open spot on the court. Now it's set point.
Yeah, that's a great time to set him there, too. You've got a kind of little bit of a point cushion. You know, if you're Hopkins, they're probably looking, if you're going to go to Murrow or to Ashlanashvili, they've been successful with those tonight. So, hey, this is an opportunity to just catch them on their heels. That forces Hopkins into a timeout.
24-22. Well, this has been fun tonight, hasn't it?
It has. You know, for a while there, it looked like it wasn't going to be. You know, it looked like we were going to be in and out of here pretty quick. Wayzata was strong early, but it kind of faltered a little bit here, and Hopkins has taken advantage of that. Now it's kind of tables have turned again, and Wayzata's on set point here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hopkins at least pushes us into extra points.
And we talked about the curtain and the rafters and everything. One of the first years this gym was open, 20-some years ago, we're doing a section basketball game here, and the great Blake Hoffarber, All-State guard from Hopkins, had an inbound pass late, tried to put his team ahead, hits that ceiling on a high pass, turns it over. They lose the game by, by one. Well, how about this spot for Anas Nag, his first appearance tonight. And it comes on set point in set 3. Serving for Wayzata. And then they go back to Nog. He'll put it to Ashlanashvili. At the net, Rinaldi down for a point, 24-23.
I think Wayzata maybe got away with a double there, but ended up not burning Hopkins. Now this is their chance to push it to extra points.
Kana back in now for Wayzata.
I think you're looking at Ashlanashvili as first option, unless it's a perfect pass. I can see them go in the middle.
Lost sets to Ashlanashvili, down for a point. Set 3 goes to Wayzata. They come back and win this one after trailing 25-23 Trojans.
Wayzata feeling it. They're just one set away from the state tournament.
That was a great third set. Wayzata wins it. They go up 2-1. Take another timeout, come back. Set 4 on the way. Section 6 volleyball continues on CCX after this.
In 1935, Topline Financial Credit Union was founded by workers from our local phone company, by people who dedicated their lives to keeping our community connected. At Topline Financial, that dedication lives on because we believe that dreams are achieved when we connect with each other. So if you're dreaming of buying a new home or car, or planning for your future, or saving for that next vacation, connect with us. We'll help you get there, because connected, we all do better.
Our thanks again to Minnesota Select Volleyball Club for sponsoring CCX live coverage tonight of the Section 6 final between Hopkins and Wayzata. Minnesota Select continuing to grow the sport of volleyball, boys volleyball specifically now in this age, but certainly been a great trainer and teacher of girls volleyball players for years, and boys volleyball as well, now becoming an official MSHSL sport this year.
Yeah, you know, Minnesota Select has been a huge supporter of boys volleyball, like I mentioned earlier. You know, we've got a bunch of teams gearing up for nationals here. It's coming around the corner in just about a month, less than a month for some teams. That's coming quick, and they're going to be representing Minnesota strong the whole way through, and it's going to be good. They've got a bunch of summer programs for athletes who have played before, those who haven't played before. You can find those all at Minnesota Select, mnselect.com.
All right, your Hopkins Park, you played well, rallying in set 2, led a lot of set 3, but then in the end you lose it. How do you kind of get it back here?
I think you just kind of keep your emotions under control. You know, when Hopkins was playing well, they were under control. They weren't worried about the calls. They weren't worried about doing too much. They were just saying, hey, we got to play defense. We have to cover our hitters because we're going to get blocked. And we're going to keep that ball alive. We know that they have good passers and serve receive. If they can do everything else, it's going to be all right.
Moss on the serve, over by Hoyle. Loss setting is Murrow again. Very effective tonight.
Yeah,
he's
had
right?
a great night, and his connection with Connor Voss has been terrific. And Jack Newthall's too. You know, it's not just been Murrow; it's been a lot out of the middle.
Oh, first 2 points in set 4 go to Wayzata. Barnett trying to get one back, and Murrow got a block on that. And then he takes him off that one and drops it in. Hopkins Park with their first point in set 4. Over 500 kills on the season. Went over that mark last set.
And I think he'd like to keep adding to that number.
Yeah, no doubt. Trying to tie it up here at 2. Good, his best serve perhaps of the night. Tied at 2.
I wouldn't mind a 5-set game here tonight.
No, right? Among the state leader in aces, and he's got back-to-back ones here. 3-2 Royals. This one handled by Westman is Murrow with the attack and kill.
Yeah, you know, what Wayzata's doing right now is making it very difficult for Hopkins. I think you keep your middles an option. Your blockers have to guess. You know, it's so hard to go from a quick middle attack to an outside attack, and they just have no idea where that ball's going to go, and they're just on their heels, and they're not sure what to do.
Westman puts that one off of Barnett's hands and out. 4-3 Trojans. And into the net on Westman's serve. A little too much off that ball. 4-4. Back to Caleb Mary Peary. Boss back set. McLean gets blocked by Rinaldi. Joey Rinaldi puts Hopkins Park back ahead.
You know, a player like Joey Rinaldi, he doesn't look like he's much of a front row force, but boy, does he have some vertical jump to him.
Boss setting to Aslanishvili, but pick up by Barnett. Go back to Rinaldi again, spins it over and down. Royals by 2, 6-4. Mary Peary missed on that one, 6-5. Newthalls and McLean back in for Wayzata with Murrow to serve. Hoyle for Barnett.
What a
off of
swing.
Murrow. Big swing from the senior.
You know, a lot of kids can't swing that good out of the front row, and he's taking that swing out of the back. Great timing set there from Hoyle, and just Barnett took care of the rest.
Newthalls from the middle on the quick set from Voss. We mentioned Murrow and Newthalls. He's had a couple tonight from the middle. Same spot on the floor, gets the attack and kill. Gavin Kinsel back in. Trojans leading 2-1 in sets, but trailing right now 7-6 here in the fourth set. Make it 8-6. Rinaldi serves, took a little bit off that one. Aslanishvili backing up on that one, didn't get a lot on it and into the net. And now 9-6, Hopkins Park.
Yeah, Hopkins has done a great job of keeping Wayzata out of system, but when they have been, it's been the middles that has been helping Wayzata out more so than the pin hitters.
Aslanishvili missed. 10-6, Royals. Connor Severson, like, all right, we're okay. Lost Aslanishvili, and this one gets down. (10-7). Aslanishvili serving. Dug up by Mary Peary. Here's Barnett. Aslanishvili, front row. Westman and over by Voss for the kill.
Good job by Voss to just, kind of chuck that ball over in the net. Have strong hands with it. Don't let, even if you get blocked, you don't want it to bounce straight down. Just took it, was strong with it, and Rinaldi couldn't handle it.
Aslanishvili on the serve. Here's the right side attack for Rinaldi. Missed. Hopkins.
I think they overruled the line judge there, right?
They thought that was in or thought it was chip. Regardless, they didn't agree. Let's take a look at it again. Definitely not chip.
That was in. That was for sure in.
Well, that's in. Oh, they did get the point. It was my mistake that I thought they had called it for Wayzata. Block here by Voss.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, and how about Barnett
outside the
keeping
antenna.
that alive? Swing and over. Oh, you're right. No one saw the antenna signal.
Yeah.
From the line judge back here, so that play went on a couple of plays after it should have. A couple of swings. That point was Wayzata's good 15 seconds before it ended in real time. All right, here we go. 11-9. Kata serving. His team trailing by 2. Oh, rolled over by Hoyle. Over by Kata for Wayzata. Hoyle to Barnett.
Net there. Yeah, Moreau was in the net on that block.
12-9, Hopkins Park.
He knew it right away. He's like, my bad, guys, my bad.
3-point lead. Hoyle among the state leaders in set assists this year. He's had a good match tonight. He goes back to serve, his team leading by 3. Voss all the way across the net. A good block there by Ben Jones. Blocking Kai Westman.
Yeah, early on, Jones had struggled with really pressing against the net and making their hitters, work a little bit. As the Wayzata takes a timeout to kind of stop Hopkins' run here a little bit. I think this might be Hopkins' biggest lead of the night. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but Jones has done a better job of late and a really nice job there of pressing over the net. You're allowed to press over the net when the other team is attacking, and it didn't give Wayzata any room to even tip that ball over, and just prevented them from just any chance of getting a point. Wayzata might be reeling a little bit. I think Connor Severson might be saying, "Hey guys, let's settle down. Can we reset here? Have some good energy. Let's get a point. Let's celebrate. Have some fun, and refocus ourselves."
First set was 25-17 Wayzata, but then the last two each decided by 2 points. Hopkins Park winning 26-24 in the second. Wayzata 25-23 in the third. Hoyle serving, his team leading by 4. Voss to the middle. Aslanishvili, his best swing from the middle tonight, gets the kill.
Yeah, out of the back row, I thought he was pretty close to being on the line on that one, but either way, that's a great approach and a phenomenal swing, really with authority.
Voss, the junior setter to serve. Off Barnett. Peary back to Barnett. That's set to Aslanishvili again.
No touch. Huh?
Yes, no touch.
Thought there might have been one, but it could have just been my angle too, because it's not like I don't think Wayzata's arguing for one.
No. 14-10.
Now just maybe over and out.
Missed hands and missed long. Barnett serves. Back set this time. Westman gets blocked by Rinaldi. Tipped at the net. Rinaldi gets the kill. 15-10 Hopkins Park.
Now, like I said, he may not be a tall guy, but he is not anyone who's going to get robbed when playing up at the net.
Barnett with a great serve. That's up in the rafters. Handled by Wayzata and put away by Westman. That's a big point for Wayzata after that really hard serve. The good serve received. They handle it off. The curtain up high and get the kill.
Yeah, that was I think might have been Westman's best swing of the night, even from the right side there. Put it down at a good angle.
Floats this serve wide. 16-11 Hopkins Park. So Trojans unable to build on the momentum of the previous point.
Yeah, you don't want to have that serve out right away after that big kill, kind of carry that momentum over, but sometimes that's volleyball, right?
Gary Peary. Moss runs that ball down. Aslanus Feely. It's up off the ceiling. Barnett from the middle. Too strong.
Oh, we got a touch over on the right from the line judge there. A referee says no. Now the line judge on the Hopkins side saw a touch, but the official said, no, I disagree.
(16-12). Serve here from Nog. Here's Rinaldi. Kill for Hopkins Park.
Now Rinaldi's had a good rotation here in the front row in these 3 rotations. He's been very effective. Even if he hadn't got a clean swing, he's been good with the block, the swipe, hitting a ball off the block. Really effective 3 rotations here.
Boss, quick set punched across by Newthalls. Rinaldi again. Another kill for Joey Rinaldi.
And we're going to get a timeout here from Wayzata. They're out of timeouts now, and they're only at 12 points. They're hoping they can change that around right away. Now right through the block there for Rinaldi. You can't leave a gap like that, and he's going to somehow find it, and he's excited. He's feeling it.
He's got gray hair on top of it, right?
Oh, yeah, he's got flow. We might need a volleyball hair team or something this season, right? He'd be on the list, that's for sure.
18-12 Hopkins Park. Swept by Wayzata twice during the regular season, but as we mentioned right off the top, those 3-0 finals, the sets were closer than the final team score would indicate, and they have given Wayzata all they can handle here tonight. And 7 points away from sending this to a 5th and deciding set.
Yeah, if you're Wayzata here, you got to say, hey, we are in this position as we get some eyes here from Jason Kraft on Hopkins. But, Wayzata's going to be, we're in this position as Alden Kramer checks in for the Trojans, but we're in this position that we can't worry about what happened in the past. We can only worry about ourselves going forward.
18-12 with Ben Jones back to serve for Hopkins Park. Lost Aslanus Feely off Barnett for a point. Now Wayzata at this juncture in the set can't afford to trade points. They need to run here.
No, they need to put some points together. Alden's got a good float serve at times, and he can really put that here.
Serve here from Alden Kramer. Junior right side is into the match now for the first time. At the net, who's going to play it? Boyle got it across to Rinaldi, another kill.
And Rinaldi's very hot right now. He's on fire from the Hopkins side of the court. It's like he can't be stopped.
19-13. Royals, Rinaldi will serve. Look at it again.
And down the line, just right off of Connor Valsa's right arm there. And then now he goes back to serve, but if you're Wayzata, now we got the state leader in kills in the front row. So we got rid of the hot hand, but we got the guy who's been successful all year long.
Ross will set it to Aslanus Feely, gets the kill. 19-14. And now Osseo will go back to serve. Tyler, look at that swing again.
Yeah, it's been successful for both teams tonight. It's just going right down the line. There has been a lot of defensive digs right there.
Good serve layout by Rinaldi. And then Hoyle gets to it and over by Mary Peary. Ross dumps it at the net. Point for Wayzata, so they get 2 in a row to make it 19-15.
I think Rinaldi was expecting Connor Voss to go with that kind of throwdown like he did earlier, and he just kind of tapped it over, and he wasn't quite expecting it.
Osseo too strong on the serve.
Close one.
Hopkins Park at 20. John Miller and Vetter Rinaldi back in for Hopkins. Vetter Rinaldi serving. Kinsel handled it back row. Here's a chip at the net. Dug up there by Jones, over by Barnett. Cotta gets it across, but out.
A lot of broken play on both sides there. It just kind of felt like who was going to outlast the other and who might make the last error.
Vetter Rinaldi serves long, 21-16.
Really kind of special for the Rinaldi family to have both players on the court for their first inaugural boys volleyball season in the MSHSL.
Cotta with the serve. Ball from the middle, attack by Rinaldi, picked up by Cotta. Westman over. And then back. Osseo took a lot off of that ball and drops it in front of the defense for a point.
Yeah, smart play. He's been successful swinging hard from the back row there, but clearly Hopkins was all on their heels expecting another big one, and almost like nobody even took a step almost until Jones took a step there.
Oh, Cotta serves into the net. Another crucial service error for Wayzata. Hopkins Park within 3 of sending us to a 5th set tonight. Back to Hoyle serving. He's been pretty good on his serves tonight. Gets this one across. Attack from the middle. This time they pick up the ball from Merle. Barnett gets blocked. Hoyle back to Barnett. Takes a lot off that one, and that's down for a point. Cotta and Westman collided there.
I think if you're the Trojans, you got to see when Barnett approaches early to that ball. More often than not, he's going to roll shot. He really stepped in for his first couple on the approach there early, jumped, and just had no power, so he had no choice but to roll shot.
Oh boy, double contact called on the set. On Voss.
Definitely
it is set point.
Definitely the right call, but it feels like Wayzata's kind of getting rattled a little bit here as looks like we're inevitably going to a 5th set.
At 24-17 with Hoyle serving. Voss to Merle.
Excellent, 31.
Back.
Yeah, it was a great 31 set from Voss to Morrell. Their connection has been very, very exciting to watch tonight. Good tempo, good approach, good swing. A lot to like about that offensively.
Still set point though. Barnett trying to end it. No, not yet. Kramer gets the block. Kramer and Merle set up on that right side, blocking the swing from Owen Barnett.
Another thing, if you're the Royals here, you might have this one in the bag. This one might be over, but you don't want Wayzata to gain any momentum into the 5th set. So even if you win, you don't want to win 25-23 at this point. You want to win 25-19.
Voss tips Merle. Oh, so missed time there. Error by Wayzata. Hopkins Park wins 25-19, and we go to a 5th set.
Well, we're getting our money's worth here tonight. This has been a fun night all night long. Wayzata looked like they were just going to roll tonight, and then Hopkins said, no, thank you, we like a shot too. And both teams are just 15 points away from a state championship appearance.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. Set 5 on the way. Hopkins Park, Wayzata. The winner goes to state. It's up next. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Well, there is time if you're a parent, a fan, how about the players out on the court? 1 set to decide who goes to state out of Section 6 for the first season of boys volleyball. Mark Awesome's team has come back to tie this one, winning that last set 25-19. And here we go, first one to 15.
It's been a fun one, and I think it's going to be a fun 5th set here. Both teams trying to make more noise than the other. Both fans of each team trying to make more noise than the other. It's going to be it's going to be a loud, it's going to be a fast and fun 5th set.
And he caught it a serve. We are underway with the 5th set. There's Barnett with the first swing. Swings wide. As we mentioned, of course, this 5th set only to 15, so right, every point, every mistake, everything is magnified.
Exactly. It's a few percentage points more of each point is a few percentage points more of the set, and every error means that much more.
Caught it with another good serve. Here's Rinaldi. He'll push it across. Merle gets blocked by Nardnett. This one goes up and out of play. It might be the first time they've successfully blocked
on
Merle.
the middle. Yeah, either middle really that they've. And Merle's been so strong tonight. I think that's been a big part of it. That maybe between sets, hey, if they have a good pass, Wayzata that is, let's commit and block their middle.
Off the Hoyle serve. Oh, so dump it across. 2-1 Trojans.
Yeah, the responsibility to block that's on the outside hitter for Hopkins, and Voss has shown the willingness and ability to go over on 2 and done so well tonight. So if you're the outside, you're going to want to just be on him, especially on those tight passes.
Voss floats it back row. Tip on the left side. Voss picks up the Barnett hit. Oh, and then there was confusion there. Was going to take it, Kramer and Voss. Kramer didn't get much on it.
Yeah, Kramer was looking to take that ball with the swing. I don't think Voss called it, or if he did, he didn't call it very loud. Like we said, it's starting to get a little bit louder in the building here, so you got to be that much louder as a player to communicate with your teammates.
So now 2-2. Voss back set. Westman gets blocked. Kill for Rinaldi.
Yeah, both teams have to remember, even though that each point is worth a little bit more, you can't take it too greatly. You just got to worry about the next one. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Just play hard.
Good serve by Barnett. And doesn't make it back over for Wayzata. 4-2 Royals.
You see Aslanishvili there in their little huddle between points to say, hey, let's go, let's calm down, we got to play our game.
Barnett handled by Westman. With a Kramer across. Rinaldi scrambles, gets to it. Back to Barnett in the middle. Voss set to the middle. Aslanishvili. Good pickup by Hoyle. Here's Rinaldi again. Left side. Pickup by Aslanishvili at the net. Easy tap over for Ben Jones.
Early timeout here from Wayzata. The Hopkins block has really turned it on in the 4th and into the 5th set, and they've been a factor now. They weren't really a factor early on in the game, and they've been there even though there was a little bit of crossover miscommunication there on that last play. But even when Wayzata's been getting a good swing on the ball, they've been able to slow the ball down for the defense or just stop it from coming over entirely.
Royals just seem more, I mean, they're in the lead, I understand that, but they seem more relaxed right now, even coming into this set.
Absolutely, I think they are. I think early, I mean, we started the whole match with that weird point where they weren't quite ready to play, and it didn't seem like it bounced around for them until midway through the 2nd set. and then, okay, now we got a game on our hands. But now that they're starting to feel it a little bit, they're going to keep the momentum as long as they can. But like I said, they got to stay under control, and they've only got 5, right? They still got to get 10 more. And just a 3-point lead might feel like a lot in the moment. It's not a lot, and that can disappear in a hurry.
Fans really getting into it here in this 5th set. Off the Barnett serve, pick up by Westman. Loss across from Murrow. That seems like a big kill for Wayzata. Mario Murrow makes it 5-3. Off the Westman serve. Hoyle back set to Jones. Westman tight at the net, tipped over by Miller. Here's Aslanishvili. It's up in the ceiling, still in play. And Rinaldi diving effort. It gets to the floor. All right, that guy's everywhere tonight for Hopkins, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the kind of player he is. He's going to put 100% physical effort every single time.
Westman serves. Go back to Rinaldi, gets blocked. We'll go to him again, and spins it across, picked up by Lava, back left side. Now Aslanishvili with the kill, and 3 in a row for Wayzata. They've tied it at 5.
Like I said, that 3-point lead can disappear in a hurry, and Hopkins is taking that timeout to say, hey, we just had that lead. What happened to it? There was a couple ball off the ceiling that didn't help them, and then a couple balls that Wayzata got some great digs on through the seam of the block, and all of a sudden this game that felt like it was getting out of hand is a tie game with only 10 points to go. You can tell the huddle for Wayzata is a little bit more, got some more oomph to it, some more energy. They're ready to go now. Just a little bit ago, it looked like they were kind of down in the dumps.
Right.
They're kind of feeling it. They're excited again. It feels like a whole new team than it was just a couple minutes ago.
See if Westman can continue the momentum on his serve out of the timeout. A race to 10. Now tied up at 5. Floats it across. Overpass knocked down by Aslanishvili. Trojans in the lead. 4 in a row for Wayzata.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a role reversal now. Wayzata feels like they're in control, and Hopkins is the one kind of looking for an over-the-net call. And, hey, guys, we got to buckle down now.
Ball set to the middle. Barnett ties it up.
Yeah, that's going to have to be their bread and butter here. Barnett's going to have to step up here. He just great swing out of the back row, continuing to be a factor all season, all night. If they're going to go to state, then he's going to take them there.
Piri serving, just got it over. Set to Aslanishvili, took a little ball off that ball. Overpass, Murrow knocks it down, picked up by Rinaldi. Back to Barnett in the middle.
Wayzata net. Got a little greedy there. They saw that slow kind of off-speed roll shot from Barnett out of the back row. They were just going to kind of push it down and kind of lost. They were kind of coming back down onto the floor and just reached right into the net.
Royals back in front. Loss set. Aslanishvili off hands. Picked up by Miri Piri. Here's Rinaldi off some hands. Picked up. Aslanishvili again across. Back row. Barnett handled that. Then back to Barnett. To net and down. And it's 7-7. Murrow there for Wayzata. They're tied up.
Maybe it's a little bit of a moisture on the floor or something. Oh, maybe some tape.
Murrow serving. Outside Rinaldi, how about that?
Great swing over the cross side. You got the middle playing defense over there, which is your advantage. You kind of, a lot of times you tell your offense, hey, we got a middle playing defense. Typically they're not the strongest defenders, so let's put it their way. He took, kind of stepped in there, went to the right. No chance.
8-7 Royals. Lost set, Tasvanishvili, and that's down. Got another one, another kill for the junior. Ties it at 8.
Well, it's 8-8 in the fifth. You couldn't ask for much more than that, right, so far. So, been a fun one, guys diving all over the place. Good effort from both sides.
Kramer serves. Punched across by Hoyle. Quick set, and that's Newthalls with the kill. Connor Moss, the quick set, Newthalls. The senior puts his team back in front.
Again, that fast tempo middle has been successful for Wayzata all night long. The Jason Kraft, the Hopkins middles just couldn't get there on time.
Rinaldi. 9-9. Off hands for a point. He always seems to have the answer tonight for Hopkins Park when they fall behind.
He goes back to serve, and Owen Barnett steps into the front row. No break for Wayzata.
Serves, Tasvanishvili finds the open spot again. 10-9 Trojans. Set goes to Barnett. They got a block at the net. Barnett will try again. Go outside. Westman gets blocked. Big block there by Kraft. Over by Newthalls. Barnett. Oh my goodness. Down
what
for
a swing.
Huge kill, and it's 10-10.
Wow, that was a really impressive swing from Barnett. Came in at an angle just to the right of the blocker and straight down. Excellent swing. There's just, you can't, unless you happen to be there, there's nothing you can do about that. There's a reason why he's leading the state in kills, isn't there?
Better Rinaldi serving to the net. 11-10 Wayzata. Back it comes to the Trojans. Kata, who started this match and this set as well with the serve, will put it again in play. Cross to Barnett, takes a lot off that one and gets it down. 11-all.
Yeah, there's that play again. Wayzata needs to recognize when Owen Barnett, he approaches early, he really always takes something off of it. It might be a roll, it might be a tip. But as soon as you see him in early, kind of start crashing forward to try and get that tip or roll.
Hoyle serves. Ball so punched up the net. Scramble. Barnett from Rinaldi. There's a point. 12-11 Hopkins Park.
What's really impressive what Owen Barnett has done is that everyone in the gym knows he's getting the ball, and he's still getting kills on it. Every single time he's getting it off the block, off the roll, on a great swing. He's been a great factor all season and all night long.
Loss to Tasvanishvili, dug up by Miri Piri. I go back to Barnett again, takes him off that again, and this time hammers it home. The overpass and puts it away. And the seniors put his team within 2 points of a state tournament berth. Timeout Wayzata.
Yeah, excellent work. Owen Barnett's really put the team on his back here in the fifth set. He's just been a force to be reckoned with. I'm not sure what his attack percentage is, but it's got to be close to 1,000. He's swinging hard. He's swinging aggressively. He's swinging smart. He's been phenomenal all night, but especially here in the fifth set. Really impressive work from Barnett.
Wayzata, zero margin for error. What do you have to do to get the? First, you got to get it to 13 before you worry about winning the set.
Exactly. You got to push it to get 12, then get 13. But we've been trading points for until that last play. It's been point Hopkins, point Wayzata, point Hopkins, point Wayzata. until then, until this last one, it's been trading points. Like, hey, let's get back to it. You know, we get 12 right away, then we can get a run. We've done that on ourselves. We've been aggressive with our serves too. And like I said, everyone in the gym knows where it's going. We can triple block Barnett. We can get a dig every now and then. All we got to do is slow them down a little bit, and we're right back in it.
Christian Hoyle back to serve. Front row Voss. Sets for Westman.
Oh, phenomenal dig from Mary
Peary off a speaker. Rinaldi gets it over. Voss quick set. Murrow off hands. Kept alive. Hoyle for Barnett again. Off hands. Hensel trying to keep it alive. And down. And now it's match point. There was some terrific plays there by Hopkins Park to get that point when it looked like they wouldn't.
Yeah, phenomenal effort from both sides. Good touches. The freshman goes to serve to take him to state here.
C.J. Hoyle on the serve into the net. Not there yet. 14-12. It's still match point. Connor Voss back to serve.
You want to take a moment, breathe. Don't rush yourself.
Voss floats his serve over off Rinaldi. Barnett back to the middle, over by Hoyle. Voss will set it. Murrow attacks. Rinaldi, good pickup. Back to Rinaldi. Voss tip over by Murrow. Kept alive again to the middle of Barnett. Cotta to Voss. Westman gets blocked. Hopkins wins, and they're going to state. John Miller, the senior, gets the block. And Hopkins wins set 5, 15-12. They beat Wayzata and the Royals, going to the state tournament.
Absolutely fun match tonight. Both teams have stuff to be proud of for the season and for tonight. Great effort from both teams. This was a phenomenally fun match to watch and be a part of here. Hopkins really decided to turn it on. It felt like they, at some point during the match, maybe to the fifth set here, they decided we were not going to lose, and they really took it.
Well, how about that last point even? Like there were a couple of times like, all right, Wayzata's going to win this point, and they kept it alive, and it was
exactly,
terrific final point to end the match for the Royals.
There were some absolutely like all-out digs that we hadn't seen all night long, and it was like, hey, now is our time. We're going to go get it. And again, they're going to go get that section award and that bid to the first ever Minnesota State High School League Boys Volleyball State Championship Tournament.
We're part of that again. There's the block. Miller getting the kill.
That was another thing for Hopkins that they really improved upon early in the match. Their blocking was not very strong for them. Wayzata was kind of able to hit at will. Their blocks kind of were mistimed. They weren't exactly jumping together. They were crossing over one another. They weren't pressing over the net. That last block might have been one of their better blocks of the match just because they were solid and push over and right there. Completely a role reversal from when we saw in the first set of this match. It felt like it wasn't going to be much of a match, and all of a sudden, Hopkins St. Louis Park Royals take it in 5.
Well, there's the information on next week's state tournament. All of the matches over at the University of St. Thomas. Quarterfinals Tuesday, semifinals and consolation semis Wednesday, and then final matches of the day next Thursday. So how exciting for Hopkins to get to the state. And they win their 17th match of the season, and certainly a really tough defeat anytime in a section final. But for Wayzata, you really controlled play that first set and a half, and you went ahead in that third set, 2-1, and unable to close the deal though. And all the credit to Hopkins Park, but I'm sure Wayzata feels like, man, we left a lot on the table there. We could have certainly won tonight.
Yeah, Wayzata, I mean, like I said, they have nothing really to be ashamed of. They played so tremendously well, and they really had their chances, but also Hopkins had their chances too. You know, it's not like any team really kind of ran away with it. You know, other than that first set when it felt like it was over before it was, and and then everything else was close the rest of the night. And credit to both teams who really just made this an exciting match. 15-12 in the fifth set, the section finals. Really, I think both teams are going to go home and remember this, whether it's a good memory or a bad memory, or even if you lost, you might still take some good things out of that.
Yeah, you look at tonight's match, 2 hours in length to get to tonight. This was a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to think too for Wayzata as they get their section award medals here, is that they're looking at their roster, only graduating 2 seniors. Jack Newthals and Manny Cotta. They're only graduating those 2 guys. Those 2 guys are a very important part of this team, and I'm sure they'd like to be playing another match here again too. But you're looking forward to next season, and you're only losing 2 guys. That's something that's really exciting to look forward to build towards for next season for the Wayzata Trojans.
Yeah, Hopkins Park will graduate 7 seniors in all, including John Miller, who got that block on that last play. But, of course, Oren Bennett and Joey Rinaldi, who a huge part of his success tonight and all season, both graduate as well. As you mentioned, Joey going on to play next year at Belmont Abbey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good learning experience. You mentioned Joey going to Belmont Abbey. If you're a college coach, you're looking for your player to step up in these kind of matches. And he really did that. And that's going to serve him well in college as he goes to play at the next level. That's something that he can take and learn, and his coaches that he's going to have are really going to be thankful for him having this experience.
The Trojans getting their runner-up medals right now, and they'll get their trophy in a moment. But it's certainly a heartbreak for Wayzata. Always tough when the last game of the season, whatever it is, whatever sport, and you work so hard and you're so close to getting to the next level, and you come up just a little bit short.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard, especially right now, because the things you're thinking about is like that one thing I could have done different, right? You're not thinking about the big picture. You're looking at that one point or that other point, or I wish I would have had another chance for that. I could have done that better. I should have done that better. But all that is just what should be motivation for the next season or the next thing you've got, whether it's in volleyball or otherwise. That just has to be your motivation. And hey, look what we've accomplished in our first season as an official state-sanctioned sport.
The Trojans receive their runner-up medals, and now the Hopkins Royals will get their championship medals.
Another thing, too, is that, if you're Hopkins, this was a very fun environment to play in. Both teams' crowds was very loud. Guess what? The state tournament might be just a little bit louder. And so to have a match like this to kind of be, hey, we've already been through the ringer a little bit, that's a good thing to know.
We talk about this in a lot of other sports, the guys that maybe didn't hit the court tonight, how important they are to practice. And then maybe they have their moments in other matches, but just as important as the 6 or 7 guys who got most of the work, did the heavy lifting tonight. You have all these other players that are helping you day in and day out.
Yeah, and there's a reason why everybody on the team gets a medal. It really is a team effort. Just because you whether you're on the point for the entire night for 1 point or no points, it doesn't really matter, because you had some sort of impact one way or another, and that can help propel your team to the next level, and you can still learn things. Maybe you're a younger guy who mainly isn't going to play much this year, but you can learn from some of these older guys. You look at both rosters, and they have some sophomores, a couple of freshmen on Hopkins, but a lot of sophomores and juniors who can say, hey, I learned from these guys above me. Maybe they don't even realize that they're learning, and that's part of it, that they just kind of are going through it, not even knowing, hey, I learned a lot from these older guys.
Student managers getting their medals as well.
Assistant coach, Megan
Thurl, assistant coach. And Zach Awesome, head coach. Congratulations to all these people and the players who got it done tonight. And now the section championships got the official High School League seal on it.
Accepted by the captains, fittingly, Owen Barnett and Joey Rinaldi, who really, both of them, this really impressive showing tonight, and major factors for them going to state.
Well, we will take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll hear from a couple of the winning Royals players as we wrap up our coverage of the Section 6 tournament. Hopkins St. Louis Park on the state next week. Back to Wayzata High School after this timeout.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
The Hopkins St. Louis Park Royals on to the state tournament, the first ever in boys volleyball. They win it in thrilling fashion, 3-2 tonight over Wayzata. John Jacobson back with you on CCX, joined by the two senior co-captains for Hopkins Park, Joey Rinaldi, Owen Barnett. Owen, congratulations. What does it feel like, first of all?
Feels great. You know, after losing these guys 3 sets twice, you know, it's great to have a comeback and, you know, the most important game of the season. So I'm ecstatic.
You lose that first set. You're down most of that second set, but you come back and win it. Even though you lost that third set, I felt like you guys winning that second set just kind of set up your team for the rest of the night to make the comeback possible.
Exactly. I think the second set was definitely our most important. You know, it kept the energy staying high and kind of progressed through our further game.
What got better for your team in the match that you improved on that allowed you to come back?
I think it was the consistency in our offense, and also our scrappiness kept getting better and better. So every time we would make a mistake, we'd always clean up after it and eventually get the point.
I thought your defense improved too along the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I needed to lock in towards the end of the game.
I didn't mean to see you. I meant as a team. I thought I wasn't picking on your defense at all. I thought you guys as a team defensively got some more pickups during the game and extended rallies.
Yeah, definitely true. You know, our guys back there work so hard, and I'm glad to see our win reflect that.
You guys are such a big part of the offense, but there's a lot of guys that contributed to the win tonight, right?
Exactly, yeah. Right side Ben, our middle John, and our other middle Jason. You know, they worked really hard. They kept getting the blocks in. They kept getting the swings on those off passes and everything. You know, I think we just persevered, and it was a huge team effort, and I'm really happy.
You guys have played club volleyball. What's it like to go to the first ever official State High School League state tournament now for boys volleyball?
I'm just super excited. You know, the past 3 years have been a little disappointing for me, like with the playoff seasons. But now that we're finally here in like the official season, you know, it's so exciting to go to the first state tournament. I'm so happy.
All right, congrats. Good luck next week.
Thank you so much.
Joey Rinaldi, the other senior captain, come in, and you had some outstanding plays on both sides. It's just fun to watch you play. How much joy do you get just in playing the sport?
This is my favorite thing in the whole world. I mean, since I was 11 years old, my goal is just to play as long as I can, keep my body going. This entire game is one of the most fun games I've ever played. It's such a joy to be out here. I'm not normally an outside, I'm a libero, so it's just fun getting up here, jumping, taking swings. It's incredible to do this with all my guys over there. You know, it's just been such a joy.
And Owen mentioned, I mean, you lose to Wayzata twice. You fall behind early tonight, but you somehow find it in yourselves to come back and win this.
Yeah, I think our section game against Edina, we were down every single set, and we found a way to just struggle back and take those last 3. I think that really played a part in our mentality. Like, we can be down, and we can still come back and take it. That, I mean, what you mentioned earlier with Owen, we got a block at the end of the second set that just gave us all the momentum to just plow it forward and take that set, and that did everything for us for the rest of the game.
How tough is it to play in this gym? I mean, the balls are banging off the rafters and the curtains and everything.
It is really difficult. I texted one of the captains for Wayzata and said, hey, can we come play in our gym? We have super high ceilings. They said no, but we persevered. We had a hard time the first time we came to play here a couple months ago. And I think we adapted really well, taking a lot off the serves and giving our setter a great chance to just run a tight offense.
And you're a record-setting team in that you're historically the first team that wins Section 6 volleyball.
Yes.
What does that mean to your program?
It means everything for our program. We have 2 new coaches. We have a whole new team. So it's just going to get a lot of influx from new people that might want to come play. I think we're also one of the only sections that had the second seed beat out the first seed, so that's really exciting for us as well. It just says a lot about how much we've improved in our program, getting swept twice by them earlier in the season and coming back and being able to take them to 5 and win and go to state.
Finally, you don't know who you're playing yet next week, but what do you think you'll need to do next week, whoever the opponent is, to try to keep this going?
Well, our last few weeks of practice have just been really honing in. Like, we know Owen. Oh, he's gone. We know Owen is. I was like, I thought he was right there. We know Owen is. He's an incredible player. He gets a lot of points for us. Our last few weeks of practice have just been honing up on our middles and our right sides and making sure they can also contribute and keep our team going. So it's just going to be more of that, making sure that all 6 of us are really strong and not just 2 or 3 guys.
All right, I'll let you go celebrate now. Good luck next week.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you much.
Owen Rinaldi, Owen Barnett, Hopkins St. Louis Park comes back to win tonight. Their 17th win of the season, and they're on to the state tournament next week. What a terrific night of volleyball here at Wayzata. Thanks to all of our great crew and for all of us here at CCX. I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for joining us for coverage tonight from Wayzata High School.